America cannot tell the truth about herself. If the history of this country were written, you would have to say that this country is a nation of thieves. It began by stealing this country from the red man. If I said to you that Christopher Columbus discovered America in 1492, you would say that's correct. But now here come this honky from Spain. There are already non-white people here, and they're not existing until he comes and discovers them. Ain't that something? All their heroes have been white. They make you bow down to George Washington as your hero. Did they ever tell you that that honky owned slaves? Did he ever tell you that? Yeah. Not only did he own slaves, he sold a black woman for a barrel of molasses, and he's supposed to be our hero. Our hero. Yeah. We have to begin to unbrainwash ourselves. The biggest lie that this country has told about us is that we are lazy. And here goes some of us running around. Yeah, you know how black people are lazy. We are lazy. White people are so lazy, they stole us to do her work for her because she was too lazy to do it. You run up and down this highway, run up and down the Delta, visit Southwest Mississippi. They talking about us being lazy. We are the ones who are out in the hot sun picking and chopping cotton for $2 a day while they sitting on the porch.
People in here, I'll kick you the fuck out, you piece of shit. The two girls asked you to get the fuck away if you would.
Hello and welcome back to Global This is Beejay. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing very well. Thanks for the love and support. I see you. Today we're talking on a very interesting topic, right? I want to talk about it. It feels Black Americans keep saving America time after time and time after time again, right? I believe America wouldn't be America without Black people. That's not a quote, that's the fact. From the battlefield to the ballot box, Black Americans have been saving this country for centuries, but no one gives them credit. So today we are asking, are you sure? Did Black Americans save America? Because let me tell you, America is on fire politically, socially, and economically. But in the middle of the chaos, just one group keeps stepping up, the Black Americans. From voting to culture to standing up for justice, Black Americans are the reason this country hasn't fallen apart. So today I ask, did Black Americans save America again? Well, let's watch those videos and I'll be back with the commentaries. Do not forget to subscribe, like, and share because this is going to be very, very educative. See you when I'm back.
Imagine holding a class with 14-year-olds and you are discussing the contributions of Black enslaved individuals, their contributions that they had to build the American economy or build the nation to what it is today. And those same 14-year-olds asking the central questions, well, if Black people contribute so much to society and we recognize their contributions and inventions and everything else, why are they treated so unfairly? Why are folks still fighting for the same equal rights and opportunities as everyone else? Okay. Then a student says, can we rewrite the Emancipation Proclamation? Who's your teacher? Who's your teacher? We sure can. We're going to work together. We're going to build a lesson plan, about 3 lessons, and then we're going to rewrite you are going to rewrite the Emancipation Proclamation. Yes, sir. Yes, I love that type of teacher. But you know what's so funny? People say, how are you able to get away with teaching lessons like that? I said, well, if people don't like it, they could report me to the administration. But guess what? I'm a superintendent. I teach what I want, do what I want, when I want.
African Americans built this nation. We built this nation. You know, you're just starting to get real credit for that. Okay, I don't know if you know that. You're just starting to you built the nation. We all built it, but you were such a massive part of it. Bigger than you were given credit for. Does that make sense? Right? But through generations of blood, sweat, and tears, and you deserve a government that defends your interests, protects your families, and cares for our own citizens first. My administration is fighting with everyone and all our heart to reverse the pain inflicted by Democrat leaders and to deliver hope and opportunity and prosperity for all Americans, but for African American communities all throughout our land.
Here's the hard truth. The United States doesn't know what to do with black people because it refuses to admit the truth about itself. It's like a man who keeps tripping over the same step in his house, but instead of fixing the step, he blames his shoes. That's how America continues to treat racism. From the auction block to the school-to-prison pipeline, from redlining to mass incarceration, the pattern is clear. Systems with built-in racism. It's not a glitch, but it's the blueprint. And yet every time someone tries to speak the truth, the system covers its ears and cries, "Reverse racism," or "That was a long time ago." Black people have been told for centuries, assimilate, but don't lose your culture. Speak up, but don't make us uncomfortable. Succeed, but don't succeed too much. It's the double bind of being black in America, constantly judged by rules you didn't write in a game that you were never meant to win. And when black people demand justice, not charity, not pity, not slogans, but real justice, America shrinks back in fear. Why? Because justice requires acknowledgement. It requires confessing that racism isn't just history, it's currency, it's capital, it's the invisible scaffolding that still holds everything up, from policing to housing to politics. The truth is, America doesn't know what to do with black people because doing right by black people would require undoing the myth of American innocence. It would require saying, yes, this country was built on stolen land by stolen labor, and yes, that harm is still happening. And yes, we owe a debt. But instead, we get deflection. We get color blindness. We get a sanitized version of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Juneteenth cookouts without reparations. America wants black excellence, but not black humanity. It wants rhythm and blues, style without struggle. So what do? We keep telling the truth loudly, clearly, unapologetically, because the first step in healing is naming the wound, and America is still in a place that it won't even admit that it's bleeding. Until it does, it will keep stumbling over the same step, tripping over black bodies, black voices, black dreams, blaming everything but itself. But the day is coming when the truth will no longer knock gently. It will kick down the door, and America will finally have to choose: prepare the foundation or keep falling.
I've been contemplating on if I should speak on this or not, but I'm just go for it. I feel like Black Americans suffer the most and they get the most harm by trying to categorize all Black people as just Black people. And Black Americans suffer the most because if you're African, you have a place to call your home. If you're Caribbean, you have a place to call your home. And when I say call your home, I mean like you have your own continent, you have your own place that no one could ever take from you. That's not the same thing for Black Americans. Y'all already know how to be like just trying to not even prove to people, but prove to people like this is our land. Like, you know, y'all already know that whole argument that be going on. And with that already being an argument, so everybody here is already taking our stuff. Everybody here already thinks, oh, this is not Black American. This is not Black people. This is just mainstream. This is just TikTok culture. This is just pop. This is just whatever it is. So I feel like the problem to that is to say this is Black American, this is Caribbean, and this is African culture. I feel like we can't keep doing this. Oh, we're all Black people. We're all Black people. I love all Black people. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not trying to say I want us to be divided or separate. I'm just saying there's a whole set of problems that come with being Black American that other Black people don't have to face. And I feel like one of the main reasons why is because we keep trying to categorize everything as Black people. And it's like, no, there is specific things for specific Black people. But yeah, feel free to comment down if you feel like I'm off, if you want to add something, if you feel like I'm lacking something or whatever, give me insight. Comment down below. At the end of the day, this is my opinion and this is what I feel like is the problem and what I feel like would solve the problem. But yeah, I think we just need to figure out a way to keep identifying stuff as Black Americans, so we don't have to worry about people trying to take our stuff and retwist it and reclaim it. And yeah, just give respect and give props to the rightful owner. And one last thing too, another reason why this is very near and dear to my heart too is because there's a lot of stuff that Black Americans don't get credit for, and people don't even know the reason why that's in place, or the reason why we even have certain things to this day is because of Black Americans. A lot of the stuff that we still use function, little stuff like a freaking countertop at a store. A Black American thought of that idea and put that together. Like what's it called? A bed frame, like the poles and stuff, like the canopy looking thing. A black American created that. Water guns, a black American created that. It's just like little stuff that goes over a lot of people's heads that they don't even know that a black American invented that. So yeah, put some respect on our name for real, and start giving us our props. Start identifying what is what and who is who and who did what.
Imagine fighting for a country that doesn't see you as human. Imagine risking your life for a nation that enslaves your people, and still being the reason that that nation survives. That's exactly what happened in 1815, when black soldiers saved America in the Battle of New Orleans. But of course, history barely mentions them. So it's 1815, and the U.S. is at war with Britain again. The War of 1812 is raging, and New Orleans is the next target. If the British take the city, the U.S. economy crumbles. Trade routes collapse, and America might not even exist as we know it today. Andrew Jackson, the U.S. general in charge, he knew he was outnumbered and outgunned. He was desperate. So he did something shocking for the time. He turned to black soldiers, entered the battalion of free men of color, a group of black soldiers, many of them formerly enslaved, who stepped up to defend a country that had never defended them. Some were Creole, some were Haitian revolutionaries who had already defeated the French in Haiti, and some were black Americans looking for any chance at freedom. And when the battle started, they went to war like nobody else. While other troops panicked under British fire, the black battalions stood their ground, holding key positions and stopping the British advance. Their experience, discipline, and raw courage turned the tide of the battle. And here's the kicker. The U.S. crushed the British. New Orleans was saved, and America's future was secure. And what did these black soldiers get in return? Betrayal. After the war, instead of honoring their bravery, white lawmakers stripped them of their rights. Many of them lost their land, their status, and any promise of freedom. Some were even forced back into slavery. Andrew Jackson, the man they fought for, he went on to become president. And yeah, he made sure that black people stayed at the bottom of the system. So let's be clear. Black people didn't just build America. They saved it. Over and over again. We fought wars for a country that never fought for us. And yet, history books barely mention our names. But the truth? The Battle of New Orleans wasn't won because of Andrew Jackson. It was won because of the black men who risked everything, even when they had nothing to gain.
Okay, I want to take a moment to say thank you to Donald Trump, not out of praise, but out of truth. Because while you rip through every part of this government, tearing down justice, equality, and fairness under the fake excuse of fighting DEI fraud, what you're really doing is confirming what black folks have been saying for generations. America was built on racism, fueled by fear and sustained by white supremacy. You've exposed it all. The masks are off. The polite racism, the fake allyship, the colorblind lies, it's all gone. Now we see it raw and unfiltered. You're not just targeting policy, you're targeting people. Black people, brown people, marginalized communities. And the wild part, we make up the smallest portion of this country, yet somehow we are the biggest threat to the lie that white supremacy built. That should tell you everything. You're afraid not of violence, not of replacement, but of the power we hold even when we have nothing. You see the way our culture, our brilliance, our resilience, our excellence continues to shape this country, even when it tries to erase us. Donald Trump is just the loudest version of a system that's always been in place. He is the living, breathing proof that this country was never designed with us in mind. And yet, we continue to define it. So thank you, Donald, for exposing what so many tried to deny, for showing the world that the fear of black greatness is real, for proving that racism isn't in our imagination, it's in the fabric of this nation. And to my people, we don't have to fight to prove our worth. He's doing that for us. All we have to do is stand firm, stay awake, and know that the truth is finally louder than the lie. We are not broken. We are not the problem. We are the evidence of the power that...
I don't know what's wrong with y'all. In case that first list wasn't enough, black people also invented GPS, technically navigation, ambulances, Wi-Fi, the baby buggy, home security systems, ranch dressing, super soakers, 3D movies, over 300 uses for the peanut. Let that sink in. 300 inventions on a peanut. Flour, paste, insulation, wallboard, wood stains, soap, shaving cream, lotion, blood transfusions, elevator doors, maxi pads, the modern air conditioner, Nerf guns, spatulas, your literal cell phone that you're watching this on, ironing boards, laser eye surgery, the folding chair, shout out to Alabama, country and rock music, I know that one stings. The modern toilet, the golf tee, keychains, cash register, shoe soles, VR gaming systems, adjustable wrenches, the rotary engine.
I need someone to explain to me what's so hard about understanding that Black Americans have over 400 years of history and culture. What is so difficult in conceptualizing that? We was literally the backbone of and built a new country by force. Like, America would not be what it was and what it is today without Black Americans. 400 years of history, of culture, of families, of generations. What makes you think we're lost at all and don't have any connection to any roots? Right? And like, let's not talk about like lineages to Africa for a second, because we could talk about that all day long. We could never know where our people were from in Africa, and we would still have roots. I don't know why that's so difficult to conceptualize. And actually, you know what? There's always so much talk about Black Americans needing to be proud and have pride in our origins in Africa. And I agree with y'all. I've been to the continent, one country, Senegal, and I felt so much pride and connection there. And I agree so much, I have so much connection that the rest of y'all should have pride in Black Americans too. Where's your pride in Black Americans as not being Black Americans? Our ancestors was your ancestors' cousins. They were family, baby, and they brought and cultivated an entire culture while surviving bondage, a thriving culture, mind you. A culture that we love, talking about having a lot of origins in Africa. Okay, so if we're so connected, right? Have pride in the culture that we built here. Have pride in the culture that literally is the backbone of an entire country. Not just America, but the entire Western Hemisphere due to forced labor. They still brought culture that thrived in North America, and the Caribbean, and Latin America, and South America. Have pride in us the same way that we should have pride in our origins elsewhere, okay? We're not lost. We have roots. We have culture. We have history.
What if I told you the first U.S. paramedics were Black and we were never supposed to know? I'm Dr. Michael H. Ford, and this is a story you need to hear. In 1967, a new ambulance service launched in Pittsburgh's Hill District, a Black neighborhood overlooked by police-led emergency services. It was called Freedom House, and it changed everything. But before Freedom House, ambulance crews were often funeral home drivers or police with no medical training. If you were injured, they'd load you up and drive. No CPR, no oxygen, no care along the way. But Freedom House trained its staff, all Black men, in anatomy, CPR, IV care, and even cardiac treatment. These were men the media called unemployable, but they became pioneers of emergency medicine. In their very first year, Freedom House responded to nearly 6,000 calls and saved more than 200 lives. Their response time less than 10 minutes in communities where help often came too late or not at all. But despite their success, the city refused to let them expand. Payments were delayed, budgets were cut, and by 1975, the mayor replaced them with an all-white city-run service. Most of the original paramedics were pushed out, they were demoted or dismissed. But here's the truth. Nearly every ambulance system in the U.S. today, including the way ambulances are built and how paramedics are trained, traces back to Freedom House. They didn't just save lives. They proved what was possible when care is built with purpose, respect, and equity. If we want to fix emergency care today, we need to remember the legacy they left behind and fight for the one they never got to finish. Healing starts with knowing. Follow for more.
More than 1 million Black Americans served in the U.S. military during World War II. They lived in segregation, both at home and in service. Black troops were mostly given support roles like loading ammunition, building roads, digging ditches. But the Black Panthers Battalion, the 761st, fought with distinction under General Patton. The Tuskegee Airmen protected American bombers with such precision that some squadrons saw a significant drop in casualties when escorted by these elite Black pilots. Yet, despite their stellar performance, Black soldiers were often denied recognition and promotions. Black soldiers faced racism from the American military and from the Nazis. If they were captured by the Germans, they could be executed right then and there. Of course, they were Nazis, so what did you expect? But they could also be sent to concentration camps where they were subjected to really cruel medical experiments and brutal labor and starvation. Black women contributed to the war effort stateside to replace the soldiers that were away at war. Some worked in factories as part of the Rosie the Riveter campaign, but they were often relegated to the lowest paying, dirtiest, most dangerous jobs, but they did it. The 6888 Central Postal Directory Battalion was the only all-Black, all-female unit deployed overseas. They processed backlogged mail under grueling conditions like extreme temperatures and extreme pressure to process 17 million pieces of mail that had been sitting around for years, creating a significant morale problem with the soldiers who weren't hearing from home. These women worked around the clock in shifts and were expected to finish this job in 6 months. They finished it in 3. And the 6888 was not honored until about 8 decades later. White veterans returned home to parades and honors, while black veterans returned to Jim Crow laws and racial terrorism. Some black veterans were beaten for wearing their medals in public, the medals they earned and deserved. Others were lynched in their service uniforms. Check out an earlier video I posted about how they didn't get the GI Bill benefits owed to them, but that white soldiers got. White politicians and newspapers said at the time that black veterans were a threat to our way of life. They came home with work skills, and they'd had the experience of spending time in European cities where they were given some respect, and they wanted that at home, so people called black veterans uppity. Others warned that military training had made them too confident, so they were harassed by police and off-duty soldiers. White friends, many of our black neighbors know most of the stories that I tell here, but if you are curious and you want to help spread the word about what we were never taught, please share this video with one other white person. One share shows you care about setting the record straight. Get curious.
Welcome back. So I'll ask again, did black Americans save Americans again? If yes, they did, then black Americans deserve more than silence, right? They deserve recognition and a seat at the table they built. What do you think? They built the country. They built a country that never loved them. They built a country that doesn't have culture, a country that doesn't have anything to its name. Any culture you see that is being practiced in America today was born by the black Americans. And these black Americans are not given credits. They are not being recognized. They are not even given seats at the top where they should be. Do you think I'm really making sense? Because that's what I feel. I've really thought about this often. And I'm like, no, these people actually needs to, be out there, because without we saying it out there, people won't know. People will think, oh, these people are not doing anything. While in the real fact, these people are the people in the front lines. Are you talking about during the COVID? So many things. Yeah, the music, the dance, everything by these particular people. And yet they're still not loved. Yet they're still not recognized. That is so painful. I want us to talk about it in the comments. I want to hear from you in the comments. And to every black American watching this, your power, your voice, your existence matters more than you ever be told. Do you understand that? Your existence matters more than you will ever be told. A lot of us know that you guys are great. A lot of us know that without you people, that country will fall apart. Yes, we know it. And so I'm using this my little platform here to always say it, that you guys are great people. I want to see you subscribe, like, and share this video to your friend. If you know the video actually makes sense to you, please give it a thumb up, and do not forget to actually comment in the comment section. I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.